I first of all thank FAPCCI for giving us this opportunity. JETL has been in the forefront of environmental protection and pollution control for the last 25 years. So I'll make a presentation. My presentation is very brief, but it's in two parts. The first part is the contribution of JETL for prevention of pollution and environmental protection. And the second part is our observations on the proposed shifting of industry from Hyderabad, as well as the ban which has been imposed on establishment of new industries and expansion of the existing. JETL has been at the forefront of agitation, you may call it, or representation or protest against this retrograde step of ban and prevention of expansion. First of all, JETL was established in 1987, even before any TETP was thought about or Rio conference was held. And in 1989, it was inaugurated by the then Chief Minister, Mr. N.T. Rama Rao. We've completed 25 years. Next year, we'll be celebrating our Silver Jubilee. The plant is operating on polluter to pay principle, which was enunciated at the Rio conference. It will not be an exaggeration to say that every chemical industry, pharmaceutical industry, with the exception of maybe one or two, situated in the twin cities of Hyderabad, Rangareddy district, Mehboob district, Medak district, and some parts of Nalgonda district, have been members of JETL at one time or the other. Today they may be Indian MNCs, they may be multi-billion-dollar companies, but JETL was instrumental in their growth. So therefore, the JETL management and the members of JETL are very proud of their achievement. And it's a cooperative venture in the corporate sector. It was brought about by about 7 industrialists who were asked by IDPL at that point of time to pay approximately 3,500 rupees per tanker. Imagine in 1987. For a period of 10 years, though FAPCCI had developed the industrial estate, the ground was polluted because the industry had no option but to discharge the effluents. I'm not condoning that, but that's what the real situation was. We were discharging our untreated effluents onto the ground, and therefore there was a lot of pollution in Jirimetla. And we had thought about setting up a common effluent treatment plant in the corporate sector, but as a cooperative venture. Every member industry who desired to send their effluents for treatment to JETL had to buy the shares of the company as well as contribute to the revenue of the company for operating it. The management decided to go for expansion in phase-wise manner based on the R&D activities as well as the effluents being received from member industries from time to time. And therefore, it took us 3 phases to complete the biological treatment plant. Then in the year 1998, we converted our CETP into a CWWTP. In the month of February 1998, we connected our treated effluents to the sewers of HMWS. Therefore, it would be absolutely correct to say that from 1998 February, which is almost 15 years back, not a drop of effluent treated by JETL has been discharged onto the ground. It is always being sent to the HMWSSB sewer lines and thereby to the STP or sewage treatment plant at Amarpet. And JETL was paying at the rate of 14 to 15 lakhs of rupees per month to HMWSS. Now here comes the coordination between various departments, be it APIAC, be it APPCB or be it HMWSSB. Unfortunately, they were working in silos. Therefore, HMWSSB in its wisdom went on revising the rates, so much so that from 1.5 rupees per meter cube in 1998, they increased it to 6 rupees 50 paisa per meter cube in 2003. We could not persuade them, or we could not convince them that this is not right, this is not proportionate to the service being rendered to the industry, and we were constrained to go to the High Court. And then that case is still pending. Of course, we continue to discharge, but as I take you along, I'll show you how our dependence on HMWSSB is reduced. Then in the year 2001, the AP Pollution Control Board suggested that we should go for a different mechanism, that is a thermal separation of wastewater containing high TDS or high total dissolved salts or total dissolved solids. Therefore, we set up a multiple effective operator and a spray dryer, and in 2005, we segregated our operations into 2 parts. One is the biological treatment, the second one is the thermal evaporation and solid separation by spray drying. And now the additional ME and spray dryer became necessary because the member industries generated more high TDS effluents and we started getting more inquiries. And in 2012 we completed the second phase of the ME and spray drying capacity with the IIUS proposed by Government of India. And I wish Mr. Ajit Kumar was here because he was very much instrumental in this IIUS scheme coming to Hyderabad and implemented at Jidimetla. At present, JETL is meeting all the standards which are stipulated by FAPCCI for discharge of the treated wastewater. It's ironical, friends, that we discharge into sewers, but we are made to meet the surface standards. It's not out of place to mention as a state. I'm not talking on behalf of only the industry, but as a state, I think we buckled under the pressure of so-called Supreme Court Monitoring Committee, who had no jurisdiction on industrial wastewater. Supreme Court Monitoring Committee was constituted only for the purpose of shipbreaking and solid waste being imported from India and dumped into India. I don't know whether there were any vested interests. I cannot comment because it's not fair for me to comment. We, on behalf of JETL, represented very strongly that the Supreme Court Monitoring Committee shall not interfere with the management of wastewater and solid waste in Hyderabad. I was literally asked to shut up in that meeting. These were the words used by one of the member committees. Unfortunately, neither the bureaucrats, except a few industry friends, nobody was able to come to our defense. As a result, we went to Supreme Court. We fought a case saying that AP Pollution Control Board cannot stipulate new standards. Under the guise of giving new standards, the executive is legislating. Then we got the Supreme Court to appoint a committee of the Central Pollution Control Board, and in 2007 January, the Central Pollution Control Board gave a directive saying that AP Pollution Control Board shall study the assimilation capacity and the load on Musi River. Again, in wisdom of FAPCCI and the Central Pollution Control Board, a joint committee was formed, and during May 2007, a joint committee gave a report which is totally contrary to the industry standards. We were discharging to sewers, but today, please understand, we have to meet the surface standards. And unlike Gujarat, where the government took up the cause, or Maharashtra, where the government took up the cause, our government did not take up the cause. AP Pollution Control Board pleaded helplessness. I wish the Minister of Environment and the Member Secretary were present here, but I would definitely request Shri Jayesh Ranjan through this August gathering that obviously they will have their own fora where it can be impressed upon them. We will be happy to assist the government and APIC in any way to impress upon the government that let us not tie our hands behind ourselves and then try to run. We will never be able to run. That's what is happening from time to time. Now, yes, there is definitely a requirement for upgradation. We never shied away from that. As you can see, in 1998-99, we were discharging about 80 tons of solid waste or salt into the sewers of HMWSSB. But today we discharge only 3 tons because we have separated everything through the multiple effect evaporator and spray dryer, and we just send it to the solid waste disposal facility.